obia wa ne hema sa ahemafo nyina na akom hwabom a Mampari John Dramani Mahama ene ne ye wamo ebo ma basui
Enwomasia so afo Honorable Haruna Idris so de atudwa senhyegu akwam a aban ne behwe ama region bia enya polytechnic
Ekwobi from so one Ghana movement asresa enano besa visha edu ene ne one more June 3rd disaster actually one more sabe one more tiasia one more akano yempe compensation
Rotational Nurses and Midwives Association of Ghana say strike no amoka so mbekon say die omona enkopio
Bank of Ghana penipaya wadano Dr. Siama edi atudwasa womo edi ani ehwe bangi ahudu a wo Ghana harum so mujumadi ahudu omudi sele be ya de anya no ombesakra mu na aboa mafo edi omusika koto
oman photo for Dr. Kase3 6Pm so edi atudwasa assembly no omo ba benya sika pudo bi ebeboa ma omo so atumi abo omo ho ebra
Anumere and somewhere never frobi near cynical so I can kind of some more. I can come for a me, Rantinia Bama me, a fumwa kafina, mene.
Ajwa nyako abronoma.
Track 1, Ejina Swaba.
Sikka FM, track 1, Yan Yakron, 89.5, Sikka FM.
Sikka FM 89.5. Yes, Suma Santimai. Sikka FM 89.5. Yes, Suma Santimai.
Yes, Suma Santimai Ghana Mahi, we are seeing Naka Wafe, Yura Esumimo Ankasa. Edom for him, wamo awa santimantam ha wama kwamwa bom eni edwabia ewo kumasimu bia hima bi womu bia wasakwemo wamu nyina na wama twakrata tententi monu yo nkwa na wakrata ni mu a wamo de magana Mampani John Dramani Mahama ne dabrichi ma Melodina Mahama sa wama boadwumaden pa wamo chesem Mampani John Dramani Mahama ebetina konwa suei ne mpre no suei anasa ne second term ya wo ba ye enche ye de ne so sade dwadifo ese esasa amamo ne kwa na JM wo ye no sade wo se wo hihye economy no ama sector bia asode ejeja nas JM ya de ne resetting agenda yi ahemafo ese wo mani je ho pa na wo mo ehye so omama dwadie kura aye kama economy ekonanim hwesidi na sese wonya ahwodin project ahode oso Mampani John Dramani Mahama chese wo bewie ya chese oba konfa no chia maternity blog ayabosum si esuo yi waso wo behwe no awie ni asopiti aho obi wo man mu a waso wo ba bewie nyina dwomfa hemafo so wo manije sere JM amammo no ekoso no wo mani agye ho pa enwachi no omo chese omo edobo ade nyame ase sa je amokafo Lodina Mahama wode ne fam ne ho esa so yo ba papa Ubehu bema bia watu mponku nanim na waya de pa bia bo braku nanim bia no oba papa eda nachi enti so omo bo JM abaso omo ntumi nyi ma Melodina Mahama mfiri mu da esan so no yo oba papa wode JM atia wo pia no wo bo ne chidom bo ne kwada wade ade a ana ma JM so wo bu amamu papa etesa yente se de adwomfo ahemafo yi wo mo ede wo mabaso bo no ekoyi
Mahama yada wase ahemafo nyina hyiamu se yade aseda emma na be mo be ye nyina na yo ba papa bia otai nachi enti ena etimi ye sa de we ye ma Melodina ye nkasa enya wumu da ye mo ye papa di enya wudi boda esan se na wotai nachi ema me ye sa ne ma papa we nyina de ma santemai ma Melodina ahemafo nyina se yada wase yada wase ni wafutu pa wodo ma ya papa yada wase ani nkwansa sama wo ka che ya papa man aduma e wase wo mo ye ema ye se wo sheja yimpa ya papa Mahama ene NDC abai ene sima ye ebi mo beta so 8 years ya hudi o mo ye se school po o mo ntimi complete ni na ye wo shewu mu se wo baka Nigeria minister ho ene asante ma na ye demfo na nya ye bo mti dom ye no nyina du o man no esiesi asante man ama santemaya te ma yewura nso ani die wiye ne peye o ma ame nso ani die wiye ne peye ye kan ya kan sai phase 2 adawroma phase 2 ama na mbesi ye sa be phase 2 ye nwie ye ja ho ye de twa wo na abetimi ya beto aso ma ye na de before ma ye ni abedi a sa be ye ta kwenye so da wasie edwadie e ya de ma hu hia ye yie ebe de ye hie fie ye de hie ranom ye de hie ma ye de hie busua phase 2 adawroma da be wie ma ye wi asa to aso phase 3 eni krofrem sa be abaye ma ye krofrem abayi ba so wo ye abafa bo bi amua wa ni ye da wo na abetimi aye wadan re radio ma me tuani be krofrem ja beja no nso nyeja de enia na egu ka kwa ho aka etufu yeso obi ena gwa wura mu a sa de we nyina be firi ho ama asantema pa no tuma pa fia
Wey ahima fo awomo awokeje ti adwom droso hima brezi ahima ahwene ahima enkruma ahima moko hima jene hima kan hima ne nchen hima wo munyina ebe adwumadi na sibinti phase 2 no jm ona aye phase 1 dia wie 2 3 eye ko from dwom ye no munyina emfiri kwa ho
ye de kasebo no ekọ enwumasua ho ensemo na wasofo na hye enwumasua ho samso ye manimo ye honorable Haruna Idrisu wono so na aka kire Ghana Tertiary Education Commission JTEC se wo mo hwe na wo mo fa jepa bi enwa kwamu a ya hwe na oman region bi amantam bia yenya polytechnic ewo mu a wo se sa we a ebeba so etumi ba beboa ama suapo ahodro ni nyina da polytechnic yenya bi amantam bia sa polytechnic no hono o dasani bi kwa de ni bi kwa kwa jintiti a obewie no na afọ no akasa tumi de nsa eye bibi ebetumi aboa ama ono akasa enya adwuma ye wo wie school no anya afei no obewie asa betrafie abedwan Unemployment Association of Ghana ama no so abaye sobo ababo man ni tiri so nto se omohwe no omuntu wana mo ni di ho kobo na ye hwe na matam bia enya polytechnic wo mo betumi aboa ama bibia nso aye kama de sasemu yara tudwa abra na o commission JTEC wo Dr. Paul Efa Conference Hall Honorable Haruna Idrisu Entieno.
Now that all polytechnics have become universities, don't you think that another layer will be for us to have a polytechnic in each region of Ghana to provide a link between beyond senior high school before the university? What do we do in improving employability and the industry connection? So maybe your council will want to look into this and give the president a blueprint, but it's a possible pursuit in expanding access to higher education that government will tinker to see if we can have a polytechnic in each of the 16 regions of Ghana to expand, increase access to higher education that still focuses on employability and industry.
Yes, Matambia, Enya Polytechnic, Ibia, Ngumasua Nino, and also the Suanino, we are senior high school, no. No one say a lenke, a couple on the second crow on a mantam nim. Now a busan say a break a crown or bed in the fear no. Ebia where we used to Cuba check a crack or people admission by Baba Polyclinic no, a polytechnic no, a dear Bain, a whoopesa usia, a son of Juba na opesa usia, not a honey a mouse has its yenum point sana, Uncle Polytechnic, the center of a baby no, now so on son of Jumabia, a bob may a bedding. Elto o mai so enwasia so for honorable Haruna Idrisu anything in K. Owie ye no achi na wo san so aka kire JTEC say wo mo hwepa na public universities no o mo nyiri wo motamu wo mo so o mo nya nema se de be ya wo mo so betumi aboa ama mo so kakra wo mo nya e wo ankwankwa universities wo no o mo so betumi de aboa ama o man so akoso atuatu ahodo a e wo so obutia enti no.
Particularly on the use of their IGF, the internally generated funds, is of interest to government. And we think that we must demand more from the investors. We must shine a light on the investors' utilization of their IGF. and how that benefits expanded access to quality higher education, particularly the provision of residential halls and, more importantly, lecture theaters. You'll be surprised at why the universities are crying that we don't have money. Some of them may have money sitting in their accounts, of money that may just be enough to build a hostel. Yes, the university says you don't have money. There is sufficient money sitting in a bank account in the name of the university, which could be invested in a hostel or lecture theater facility. Government remains committed to providing free higher education.
Ere ti ye yo nwanya for Haruna Idrisu no ene ye engumasia soafo.
Yanto ansam so na enwura nsam foforo na one Ghana movement eno mode ato edwase womo a emfinhia eduni ejunta disaster womo eprepra mu odin ewo mbesi nei womo enya sike bia empata sike bia betumi amom kuma ato obiem kakra na se ebetumi amanja bom asetema ye kakra kra seria sanko fone bra na Brent wedie was rada se mu bia wo betumi aboa ama woma omhohire wo mu nipa ba se oha ene akire no a omotena se omanwo na enso ebi ahyehye ebi prepra ya sese no bi kura wa ahwe no kura wo ntumi hu ade ni ade sade na nimo esi ahyehye ne ho kro ne ba no omunya compensation bia no wo bi bra na baboa se de be ya nipa kro wo benya compensation wo goy petroleum na afi go for na National Petroleum Authority for na nipa kro na system atumi ayeye kakra na one Ghana movement mpenifo edi nsemu etudwa enne bra na eye wo mko ho ko boa adofo a wo mko kai junta disaster no chese enne ni mfinhyedu pepepe ya sa arehosem no esi ya ensu oto ya magwa filling station wo yiri ya na feja tomu na anwa fuwa ibi ni nam nsuo ye ni na eja nam so na nipa ebi hye ewu kra nipa bese wo ha eni aduonum 150 ene to ananom awansie do saada no amemu oha ne akire de wo ma prepra pa ye bi mu kra dididem kra ya ano odin pa enya sem ketwa na na dwumadie no ase na chese owura kwame senyo hosi aha wa wono eye leader edema movement wono okasa ye entie no.
If we don't fight today to make sure justice is served, to make sure that people are treated right, when it's our turn, none of that will happen. What's happening transpired is a major blot in the history of our country. These people suffered. They suffered badly. They got burnt. They lost loved ones through no fault of theirs. And those responsible have to date have not been held to account. And nobody has submitted officially the report, even though we have seen it. A white paper is yet to be issued. We cannot do this 10 years from now. We can't live life today as if yesterday never was. It is not a responsible way to run a country. We have lived like that this world, and I think it's time for us to bring that to naught. And it's time for His Excellency, the President, to right the wrongs of the past. The victims are in court, seeking justice, seeking compensation to help regroup their lives. The state must hold people to account and must rather facilitate an out-of-court settlement.
Enti ora senyo hosi na wo leader edema one Ghana movement wono na yeti nkan na enochi na do ye ni a wono so ejina mo pre atentene ene mpatasika ede ama wo mo a eprepraye no Samson Lade ayenene wono so ekasa wo chese sika saafo ni hian be 42 million Ghana cedis na wo mo here omo ho asem nyina dai wokota wo prede am wo mo yenti.
We are in court, the 69 of them seeking help for themselves and for the over 100 others. Are in court seeking a total of about 42 million Ghana cedis. Well, because of inflation, the value will not be the same today. That is granted if they got even that money. But the government can make an intervention that can bring, some solace, and that can bring some more meaningful help to them. I can tell you that in the courtroom, when they are going through giving their testimonies, 7 of the victims have already testified. It's such a reminder of their trauma that they hate, and you see them break down and cry and weep. All of that can be stopped if the government were to intervene and to extend, some financial support to them.
We a lawyer Samson Lade ayenene no sa baino emra na omre wo musika kakra just sika no betumi ede wo ma ho ofene se de no motie na san babak na mom e betumi adwodwo wo mokoma e wo kwan bi so nti abane meboa wo mo na enu achi na woni a asem ne to wo mankasankasa saa da ne bi no a nyame adoma motie se ne so omodi dem ne bi ene nsantwefo e kasa yenti no
c'est une unité qu'on a pour unité c'est la machine ya ya na mami ya ni dwe ya mosma ba he ya nesrem sa ba ni bu ba he ba ba ye moy na ya gitu na ni haya ya tibi to bi follow yam pe follow mo to one more court dia tanko funu ni na oni ati obeyo ti apo
enti we ayo omo asada no omo prepare omo ti asiri bi ne yetese omo kan makosa
Rotational Nurses and Midwives Association of Ghana omo so the betu just enka enra June that so emienu omo so ebekọ strike omo enkwa adwuma no masem nyada ene se omo ne aban ne wonte ase apam bi se aban ne ntua akatuatwi enjana bi emfa mo omo ne so ebeya sa afinie abosome edumienu ni aban ne ntua mo omo omo ye de nipa be bia nso aban no emfa emo omo nu nti no mo ka se nkanua no omo ekọ strike ne so ene omo se ba amane se strike no omo ka so nkombekọ no omo atwentwen so ni nyada se asoya ehwe empomuden Samson no matena se edi nkomo aso mo bose dwumbo sumi a ewomu yanko na wie ye de na o musika no mo saka eno na mo access strike no omo atwentwe so kakra na president de makoi Beneza Aboate wo so na ogidie mapa se financial clearance ne beba ama enwani mu ya akatuashi nyanam no omo pefra ban ho na aba ama o man sign anyo ma dwumpo so mbeko strike no ebio
last week a week today concerning our strike action, the strike action we planned, the Ministry of Health called us for a dialogue. We went there and we had an agreement, and in the agreement, we gave them a month ultimatum for them to release our clearance. So we are expecting it within this month, and because they are a new administration with new leadership, we have to oblige and then give them that time to ensure that they release our clearance. So based on that, we have temporarily suspended our strike action. This would have acted today. So we are hopeful and we believe in the assurances they gave us, and we know that before the end of June, they will release our financial clearance.
Ene ati ora Beneza Aboate wono ene president edema Rotational Nurses and Midwives Association of Ghana.
Yamfa kase no enko Sikka Kase3 Bank of Ghana de atodwa se omo ya hoboa na fe omo de nhyehyaya emu oden ba bebo eye bank dwumadi ahodo ho ban se de be ya customers ya dio musika ko to bank no entity mo basa na fe nso kura mpo no womo de apps ahodo abegu internet ne so ene ebo besia ena fahin ekosi hin ena yetutususu na se ye de jeje nkofo sika nyira ombehera saafo ni nyina omaguri nyina se de be ya ubi une bank bi didwa ubenya ahotoso mapa na watumi enu wo mo didwa sempo abafo kwanso ba bia ya one bank bi didwa bia ni sika kra bia didwa bia ubenya ahotoso nti o ma chese sakraya ana eba no efa enhyehye ya bank ahodo didwuma ewo mamu no enu mo ba be sakram no ma yiri mu na mu ayede se de be ya obi ntumi mu obi emfa so emfa ni Sikka Kase3 ehuna Bank of Ghana governor Dr. Johnson Esiama wannan nsɛm ni mu nkyeremu ode baye.
We noted a growing trend in the application of optional issuer fees or what is called OIFs when it comes to cross-currency card transactions. In principle, we recognize recognize that these fees may reflect real costs. However, opaque pricing and limited disclosure have already begun to erode consumer trust and the integrity of payment systems. To this end, the Bank of Ghana will soon issue a directive, and the directive seeks to do a number of things. It seeks to address gaps, optional user fees when it comes to cross-currency card transactions, and we seek to cap these at 2%. Secondly, we will require the mandatory disclosure of all applicable OIFs to customers before a transaction is completed.
Dr. Johnson, Siama Esanso Etwa Suse, and Shana Bakonso Ebefa banks charges are not one more charge customers and so Honomo and Sakrabi Ebecohoyenti and so.
The guidelines will set rules around, for example, licensing and authorization, but also disclosure and interest rate transparency, issues about data protection and customer privacy, and finally, ethical recovery and collection practices. Our goal in this is twofold. We want to protect borrowers, especially the most vulnerable, from exploitation, and secondly, we want to enable responsible, well-regulated digital lenders, including banks and their fintech partners lenders, to be able to thrive. If your institution, colleagues, is active in digital lending, whether directly or through third parties, colleagues, now is the time to review your models and prepare for compliance.
And yet, a Bank of Ghana Governor Dr. Johnson Esiama.
My photo sound for Dr. Kase3 6Pm was so another day to drama share BJFA district assemblies, Mercy assemblies no will be the way yakura. Ebenya 25 million Ghana cedis 2025 ya ebomi na ni nyina da ya ban ne kwan apaso afaso a ode eboa amatemam ni bia enso ebenya ne chefa e wa ban ne dwumadi ahodom osesa sika yi omode be ma assembly bia ebeboa ama assembly honom no enema hodo mpeso omuye bia etumi akoso ho na etumi aboa ma economy no so emu aye kama na afei aboa ama puto so akoso o mensi assembly ahodo no emu Dr. Kase3 6Pm so.
Again, we have earmarked 10% of the amount that will be sent directly to the assemblies for the provision of school furniture. In order for the assemblies not to use this amount for the purposes of the administration and monitoring and evaluation, government has capped the allocation for the running of the assembly to be at 5%. And finally, recognizing the need to complete abandoned legacy projects, including the numerous uncompleted structures left behind by the Middle Belt Development Authority, Coastal Development Authority, and the Northern Development Authority. We have also allocated an amount, 20% of the amount to be used to fix the mess that were created by these authorities. We are steadfast in our resolve to ensure strict adherence to the utilization guidelines governing funds allocated to the assemblies. As at yesterday, we have transferred the sum of 987 million the district assemblies has received.
Nya fe pokra na ban ne baye onu anda no omudi sika no ekoto assembly no account no ye no nko sika ne hye da ho say de baye omo so betumi dia ye adwuma yie aboa ama assembly no yenya ho emfa so Dr. Kase3 6Pm no my photo sound for ene tenin kan emrahye bidwafie
Kasabonesi na se womo ya de mani shuma adwumefo ya reporters na ya de woma se owa hene nwumre wabawe ofie hanom se enafe ya samo di ebecho afie amache woni so abone no ede amaye kwame fori abo agenso ewo newsroom yesamfo eyo falasa rokoji abo no na kasegbo so ede emayen Erem had the Siwa Bullet Fashion Center no DJ Bullet and watching from nyina ede asumye Kelvin ewe social media ne so enyumra kenkan for ayeme rantenu aba maame efomo wa kafena mene
ajwa nyako apronoma
Aisian Kaibo and Amede Tuasu. Krate kitami efri eye mampo ahimfie na eba mehre